You have to work with other people, and sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes they are in your face. God, I'm talking to myself too. But you still have to work with that person, so you have to lean over the shoulder and see what the result is that you want. You have to be the adult, and you have to let it go, because I can't run a race carrying your bags, my bags, and everybody else's bags.
I'm Dr. Kathy Martin, and I am living proof that with Sharon Combs, Coach Shay, and UCDI leadership, processes, and strategic avenues work.
Hey y'all, how you doing? This is Sharon, and again, we're bringing you impactful, powerful individuals who can really speak to transition, what something may look like in one season. It may not be what it looks like in a different season. And so I wanted to find individuals who actually are doing what I call the thing in actuality. You may see them, you may not see them, but they're living their life and they are accomplishing and achieving, hitting mile markers and milestones because it's something that they choose to do and they've been intentional about it. You guys know that I am a person of faith, and I don't believe anything that I have experienced, definitely for the good, even some challenges, has not been with either God's approval or at least his permission, you know? And so faith has really helped me. Doors have opened because of that. There are things that I've seen that have absolutely nothing to do with my professional initials. And so all of that encompasses life. And so the guests are going to speak on that. Today we have a lady, her name is Dr. Raynetta Stansil. She is someone that I've spoken with a few times, but I've watched her journey. I believe in LinkedIn, y'all. Not like I believe in God, but I believe in LinkedIn. So please join that. But she's our guest today. And I'm excited to spend some time with her, to talk with her, to listen, to hear her story. You know, we're going to keep it organic. If y'all have questions, send the questions. If you want to connect with Dr. Raynetta, I'm sure you can connect with her on LinkedIn. If you don't remember any of that, just reach out to us and we will get your information to her. So without further ado, I want to bring in Dr. Raynetta so we can chat a little bit.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, I didn't even say how you are a healthcare executive.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes.
So I am a healthcare director, but that is not my highlight. My highlight to me is women empowerment and encouragement with every woman. But I do have a little special place in my heart for Black women, because that's who I was raised by. So
right. And that's how you've existed too.
And that's why I will have to exist until the day the Lord takes me up out of here. But again, every woman. But that's what my highlight is. I want to encourage women just overall.
All right. So that's your highlight. You want to encourage women. I believe in getting right into it. I do know you are, like I said, Dr. Raynetta, healthcare executive. You share some stories about your entrepreneurial spirit, that indomitable spirit, like it being there. One of the things I wanted to kind of start off talking about, actually, before I start off talking about, I want to start off with it. Good. Yes. And then we go wherever, because we keep it organic. Yo, can we talk about this overnight success? Can we talk about how people think that's a real thing?
It's not. I'm happy you said that, because I'm like, there's no such thing as an overnight success unless you are a TikTok star and you didn't have 300 views and the next day you got 1 million views. But outside of that, in the real world, there's no such thing, because you got to work hard to get where you at. And also remember that today I can be up and tomorrow I can be down. So there's no such thing as overnight success.
See?
As we see millions of football players, basketball players that made 500 million, 50 million, 1 million. And then the next thing you know, now they're begging for money, begging for food. So there's no such thing.
It's not. And, even with sports, people don't realize most sports, that's like a 7-year window. It's a 7-year window. It ain't forever. No. LeBron James he's an anomaly. Like, stop playing. He's an exception to the rule. So,
and he spread his money out, so now he's doing, movies, shows. So he is doing what he needs to do to make that money stretch throughout the time. But overnight success, there's no such thing.
It's a myth. It is a myth. It's a myth. It's probably why people, like you said, It made me think of the lottery.
That
They
too.
win $385 million, and in less than a decade, over 90%. People say most, but I believe it's over 90% they don't have that money.
And I think one of the one of the issues is that we are not. When I say we, I mean everybody. We oftentimes are not prepped for success when it comes to money. Because I believe when we are in high school, we should have a financial class to show us how to balance our money, balance our books. We don't have that. How to invest, we don't have that. So now, today I can be broke, and then tomorrow I can be a millionaire, and then I go buy $1 million house.
Listen.
Now I'm broke again.
My brother say, if you had $1 million, what would you do with it? And I was a grown. I think I was like 27, 28 when he said that. And I was like, I'll buy this. I'll pay off all this. I get this for you. I get this for them, such and such. And then I was like, this. He said, yeah. And you be broke because you haven't even thought about taxes. In your tax bracket, you wouldn't have $1 million. You'd have about 650,000. And you now you over 300,000 in the red. And now you got more tax. I was like, what? And then I was like, dang.
And me and other people talked about that. And I'm like, if I got $1 million, you're going to see me at work the next day. Because after I pay some debt. Because first of all, I'm going to pay my debt. That's the first thing I'm going to do before I buy anything. I'm going to pay all my debt off. And then maybe buy me another house. And after that, you're going to see me at work the next day. How you doing?
Right. Exactly. So we're on the same page there. I was like, I don't even know if I would tell anybody if I won $1 million. I'd come right on. I'd be right at the same grocery store, pushing the same cart. Yeah. So many do, but many people do like see what they call the highlight reel. I've had some opportunities to do stuff like podcasts, things that bring visibility, and I want to do that as an example. I do it for me, but I do it for to say this is possible. But people are like, yeah, you just like popped up, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, well, can you just, and they think things are so easy. And I was like, well, like planning goes into everything. You have to give time. There are sacrifices. So can you tell me a little about like, I know even with your education, I know like there were things you didn't do so that you could do. Did you have to say no to stuff?
I've been having to say no a long time. Just going back to a bachelor's. You got to say no because I always work full time. You know, even though I'm married and I have children, I still have to be a wife, a mother, a friend to some, a sister to some. So I have to say no to some things, and I have to balance out some things. One of my hardest challenges was with my doctorate. I believe I'm a strong person, and most people look at me as a strong person. But my last year, so I just graduated in May, so I'm approaching 1 year. Thank you, Jesus. Yes. My last year, I started to have panic attacks, and I'm like, what is this? Because I was freaking out, like, oh my God, I'm not going, because it was so much homework, so much to do, plus work. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm literally telling myself, nobody else telling me this, me telling myself, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And so I will find myself sometimes waking up in the middle of the night, and not those panic attacks where you lock yourself in the room, but just like an overwhelming feeling over yourself, like you're not going to make it. You ain't gonna be able to finish this. It's just too much. How you gonna do it? Even though I did it, but it was a lot. And how it came in, I just kept doing what I'm doing. Jesus, please lead me, guide me, let me make the right decisions, let me write the right stuff, let me do what I need to do to finish this, because I'm at the end. And maybe it's the devil, you know what I'm saying, in my ear, like you ain't gonna make it. But that was the most challenging thing that I've had to deal with education. It was hard. It was hard.
So, listen, I thank you for talking and saying that, because with your initials, and then I have some initials on my own with the leadership and stuff. Kudos on the PhD. I have friends and colleagues who are like, go get a PhD. I was like,
and I still tell people, go do it. Do it.
Listen, my colleagues are always like, you need a PhD. And I'm like, but I understand.
I don't think you need it. But if you want it, go get it.
And that's the thing. I was like, at this point, I don't have that want. And neither do I have that instruction. Like sometimes you may not have the want, but you know something you're supposed to do. Then there's some grace on that thing. But I'll be like, no, but I'm glad that you said that because you're like, I don't know.
I ain't no problems gonna make it. I'm being dead serious to the end.
Strong.
Mm-hmm.
No, honey, intrusive thoughts, they come. Like you said, whether it's the devil or whatever, but it's something you did not plan on thinking, and all of a sudden it's just like, phew, it runs across you. Like, wait a minute, like, sir, that's an intrusive thought. The same way it flew on in, and you need to have something to fly it on out, even if you gotta do something yourself to put it on out. And so I'm very glad that you acknowledge, like, there are those moments because, just because I think everybody has those thoughts. Maybe not, I don't know if I'm gonna make it for this PhD as I'm fulfilling all these other obligations I get to do, these other areas of mine. But yeah, obligations, yes, demands, all of that. So I'm really happy that you shared that. When you had those moments, did you have like a support group? Was it stuff that you did, or did you?
I'm happy you asked that. I would not advise nobody to do this. I did not tell nobody until afterwards. And I told my friend, and she was like, why would you go through that alone? You can call me anytime in the middle of the night. I didn't tell nobody. And I just dealt with it and just continued to try to push through. But I wouldn't recommend nobody to do that because maybe potentially that made it worse. Because then I didn't have nobody be like, you could do it, keep going. No cheerleader. And I just dealt with it. And that's not good.
Listen, that book, The Body Keeps Score, like if, yeah. I have to get it out.
And so now, I'm telling people, but if I had to do it again, I would definitely tell somebody. Because my husband was like, what? And I'm like, yeah. In the middle of the night, I would get up sometimes and it just be overwhelming on me.
Wow. Yeah. I wish you, and like you said, your husband, people in your support group. And so you said we can be organic. Let's talk about support groups for a bit. Because I'm surrounded by, I call it a bouquet. I got it from I got it from Raynetta because she's a therapist.
Okay.
Out of Oklahoma. She said, and I always say bouquet. I never know if it's bouquet or bouquet. Like I forget.
We all know. Either one.
Yes. But she, one time she was just talking about her friends, like you want a garden of friends. There's some flowers do some things and they're going to come every hour. Sometimes it's some you plant just that season to see how they work. And so can we talk about that support group, like people who you may go and speak with?
So I have I didn't utilize it in that moment, but I do have a support group. And I actually think you have to. Like I felt comfortable afterwards, unfortunately not in the moment, but afterwards to talk to my friends about it. Then they was calling, checking up on me, things like that. But you have to, and having a support group and a networking group. Because now, so currently now I'm going through a divorce. So we're just gonna talk personal. And so I was talking to my friend, reaching out to her just to talk to her. And she was like, yeah, I'm in school for mental health therapy. And I'm in my internship. You see how God work? Yeah. And I'm like, well, girl, I got some hours for you. And I say that because if I wouldn't have reached out to her just to talk to her about, other stuff, that networking, yes, you need it. You got to have it. It helped me, networking helped me get jobs that I ain't never applied for, but I got them. Help me get contracts, with the healthcare consulting and other entrepreneur things. It's just like when you started, you said LinkedIn. I've had plenty of people reach out to me through LinkedIn with jobs. Me and you met through LinkedIn, Yes. So I would advise anybody, whether you're entering into the field as a newbie or a senior executive, you should be on LinkedIn. And we're not getting paid to advertise this, by the way, but you should be on LinkedIn and get all the connections you can get, because one of those people might be your next great employee, your next boss, your next coworker, your next counselor. Networking is so important. What they say, your network is your network. That it is.
Yes, I too am a fan of LinkedIn. Very much so. I think about some of the businesses. They're probably mid-sized businesses now, but one of them is a company called Beyond Clean. And I know that those gentlemen met on LinkedIn. They cultivated a whole LinkedIn relationship. And then they came together. They really did business. Yeah.
And they're doing good business. I really thought, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Hank came from Kentucky. They all work together as much as they seem intertwined with the business. I thought they worked together, but you never know how you're gonna connect with somebody and where that's going.
They created advisory boards, a lot of things, but I just watching the progression. I think I've watched that progression since about 2014, when it was just Hank asking questions that some people in that industry didn't ask. And I was like, LinkedIn. LinkedIn.
You know who else is on LinkedIn? Like, we just giving out all kind of kudos. I believe Jonathan is the first name. I can't think of the last name because I know a couple Jonathans, so I don't want to throw the wrong last name out. And he brings up good topics in regards to sterile processing. What is his name? Let me try to look.
Did he just recently have like make a post about a surgery?
Probably. He makes posts all the time about exciting topics, things you wouldn't think about, things I have to be like, I didn't think about that, or I didn't assess it that way.
Yeah, tell me who that is, because I just know the one who does water. His last name is Wilder. He does water. But
actually, he just pulled up, but that's not who I'm talking about. What is his name?
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Who you talking about?
Yeah,
fine.
Let's get him.
LinkedIn really is it. People like, I can't get a job. I can't get this, and I'm not saying I haven't experienced that or won't experience it in the future. But listen, while she's pulling up that name, I'm gonna say, y'all, and one is the loneliest number. The only time you need one is one God, like one Lord. Is good.
That is
one
good.
is the loneliest number. If you have one client, you don't have a client, you have an employer without you getting benefits, because they're gonna be extra demand if you only have one channel of marketing. If you only have one way to do something, do it and hope that one way lasts, but go ahead and get a second and a backup, set yourself up for success.
Yeah, I can't find him, but I'm gonna keep looking and I'll come back to it. I believe his name Jonathan. Maybe I got it wrong, but
I'm thinking about Jagroski then. But yeah, so I'm a fan of LinkedIn for that reason. So thank you for saying that too, and hopefully people listening.
Yeah, so I teach on the side SP, and I tell my students, get on LinkedIn and put that looking for a job, open to a job. So recruiters can start reaching out to you, so people will know, because we don't know. If you just on there and you just smiling on your profile picture, we don't know. So yeah, it's definitely helpful.
Cool, thank you, and I thank you for sharing about the panic attacks and stuff. Just kind of waking up, like you said, not locking yourself in the room, but really just like, hey, hold on, hold on. The same way you like, I can. There are those I can't moments. And that is why it is no such thing as overnight success. Period. People spend hours and years and just working on stuff. Now, as you're going through all that, let's talk about sometimes you had to make some adjustments. And I firmly believe, as a woman of melanin, for me, I have learned to make so many micro adjustments on a daily basis, just because coming where I came from, I had to adjust, period. Now those things are like muscle memory, like that ain't working, switch it up. I don't even fuss too long about why it ain't working. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think that's everybody, especially if you are a golden melanin woman. Yeah, you have to make adjustments. Sometimes you have to make adjustments to make sure that you're not approaching a situation where somebody can look at you and say you're an aggressive Black woman. And sometimes you're not aggressive, you just disappointed in the outcome, disappointed in the conversation that we have, it disappointed in how the view is looking from your standpoint, and so it unfortunately makes us have to make these small little changes all the time, small little changes. And I can't speak for other races, because I'm sure they probably do the same thing, especially with those who have who speak a different language. I'm sure that could be, difficult. You have to micromanage and make these little adjustments to make sure people can understand you. And I'm sure that could be frustrating.
like always at a heightened level of own. That's why self-care is so important, because you really are always at a heightened level of own. No, you just own. People like, yeah, you always, and that's just, yeah, it is, but I'm on. I have to be aware at all times.
All
And
the time.
And I definitely, for women, you said the women's empowerment, so much so. But I know, like with melanin, and as far as aggressor, I often think sometimes people use those terms when they can't counter, or they can't say something different than maybe what you're bringing.
Let me tell you.
So now, for all, and this could be really this for all women, because I've seen it across different economics, races, and industries, where now, you know, she's a different derogatory name because maybe some facts were stated or a question was asked, and so you didn't have an answer, so now it's defensive. And since you felt defensive and unprepared or whatever, now you must attack the personhood of somebody instead of just being like, but this is what we're talking about. Can we stay right? Can the conversation stay within these elements? You know, we don't have to go. So has that ever been, how did you navigate that? First off, have you ever experienced that?
Oh, I experience it all the time, still experience it. So like you said, I have to one of the things I practice, I think me and you talked about this on the phone, is sometimes before I speak, if we're in the middle of a conversation that requires me to say something that might just come out and you may not appreciate it, or you may not agree, I have to pause and formulate that thought or that sentence or that paragraph in my head first to make sure that it comes out appropriate. Still hitting my points, but making sure that it comes out appropriately, because I don't want it to be on you. I know I saw a video of this one lady, and it kind of resonated with me. She said, am I intimidating, or are you just timid? And so you taking my words as that, which really I'm speaking with love. I'm just giving you direct facts. And so with that, we just always got to think, well, I have to think ahead sometimes before I speak, especially when it's a sensitive topic, because I don't want to offend nobody, but I also want to be myself. And I do want to get my points across. I believe ABC. And I know you believe in something else, but ABC is the facts.
Yeah, I want to get my point across. I don't want to offend. It does really. Here's the thing too. With studying human behavior, I love people. Like I can people watch. But I began to study human behavior because I was like, man, I'm tired of being misunderstood. Like, I remember being in a church one day in Tulsa, and this girl was like, what was that? And I said, what was what? And she was like, you were ready to fight me. What was that?
Really?
And I remember, and this is somebody who I considered my friend. Like, we've been out of the country. We've taken mission trips, plural, together. We've worked with the youth together. Like, you're a pastor. Like, what? You know, like, for years, I've been to your house. We're eating on Sundays. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And she was serious. Listen, she stopped me in the foyer. I was on my way to the restroom. She was so serious. And she's like, what was that? And I said, what? And this is going to take me back to what you're saying, like they call us, people may think you're aggressive. Not they, but people may think you're aggressive. And, you know, and I had to use the restroom. I'd already been holding it, but I want to have this conversation because her face is so serious. And I say, what made you think I was going to hit you? And she said, I saw your face. But what I had done was said no to something. And she was like, come on, come on. And I was like, girl, quit playing with me. Like I said to you, like I literally said it in that, like a homegirl type of thing. I was like, girl, quit playing with me. What you won't see is me doing that, you know? And I thought, I'm pretty sure my face, like it was that type of affect. That's my recollection of it. But she was like, no, I talked to her, and she had talked to her husband. And she was like, you were angry. And, you know, this is like 30 minutes ago. I'm trying to go to this restroom, and I feel like I would have known if I was angry. But that evening, I was like, because I asked her, I said, how do we go from us having a good time to me being about to hit you? I said, there was no escalation, like the volume of my voice didn't increase. My body language, to my knowledge, is the same. There was no cussing out, no aggressive language back and forth. I really wanted to know, like, how do we get all the way over here to violence? Like, I'm gonna hit you?
I think because you use the word no. No is powerful. No is powerful. And so if I'm not expecting a no and you say a no to me, I might interpret it different. No, and as people say, no is a complete sentence.
It is. Hey, it's in the book. Code your form.
Oh,
yes, it is. It's complete. That's it. But then the Bible said, "Let your yes be yes and your no no." And salesmen know if somebody can give you a reason, then that's a yes waiting to happen. All you gotta do is take care of the reason. But anyway, I was telling you that because what you said about the micro, there's a social contract that America is having to get further and further away from. But if sometimes the person with melanin is not bringing like the entertainment, older people call it shucking and jiving, new people may call it tap dance. I don't know. If something in us is not entertaining to the audience, then the audience may get offended.
Or they're not paying attention because it's not entertaining to them.
Yeah. And so I do sense that with women's empowerment, that's something people have to navigate, but they don't have a name for it. You know, homegirl. I just think of some of the things. Homegirl, and you may have experienced some of these, and please interrupt me because again, people won't hear you. Homegirl. I remember having friends who were like, they gonna tell me about something that happened. And I'm like, am I a paid bodyguard? Like, they gonna tell me and want me to go and
then do something.
Baby, you gotta master language. You better say, like,
and learn to speak your mind and say what you say. Like, I have to tell friends sometimes, like, if they're doing a situation, like, listen, I support you. I might not agree, but I support you. I got you from back here, but I need for you to handle that up front. And then if you can't handle it, come back, maybe I can give you some words to help you. But people got to learn to, handle their own. And number one, consult with God first. Who am I? Because I might give the wrong advice. He the one who got it written and know the steps. Lead to him. Don't lead to me. I can try, but he first. And I think a lot of young people, they stir away from that. Because even me, when I was in my early 20s, I had a time. In my 20s.
A time was had.
You couldn't tell me that I had 2 kids and a husband. I was out partying. We was living life as 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say, not committing crimes or adultery and things like that, but we were having a time as 20-year-olds.
Yes.
Not thinking about church, not thinking about God. And then I came to a point one day, one of my friends invited me to church. And what's crazy is I grew up in church, but when I got about 14, I kind of stirred away a little bit because friends was important. My friends was everything. And so I want to say when I got probably about 24, 25, my friend invited me, because other than that, I only went to church for funerals. She invited me to church and it changed something in me. And I ain't saying I go to church every Sunday now, because I do believe in God, and I'm a strong believer. Yeah. But it clicked something in me to start back praying, start back going to church. I'm still partying a little bit now, but it just got me closer to God. And one thing the pastor said is, if you find, and it stuck with me, and even now I'm 42, about to be 43 in a couple of weeks. Okay. Right. What the pastor said, he said, if you find yourself moving away from God, just know he ain't the one that moved. I said,
listen, we ain't finna go to church in here and talk about that anchor. The Bible talks about him being an anchor. If you ain't anchored, you will drift way. And honey, you look up and be like, wait a minute, I can't even see the beach. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't the one that moved. I said,
He ain't the one to move. That's so good. That's so good. And it's so true. It's so true.
And I still stick with that. If I ain't close, it's because of me.
Listen.
So,
Okay, so along those lines, there are times too. You said he ain't the one to move. There are times. Do you find, or did you find? Have you found that there are times where like you somewhere, but something in your knower knew way back then that ain't it. Like no, don't go that way. But you know what I'm saying? This little trail of candy or something, whatever, got you still taking steps toward that way.
one of the good things about me, I'm very intuitive, and good thing and a bad thing because I'm hard headed too a little bit. So, and I say that to say, so I'm very intuitive, and I'm gonna give a life example, real life example. I met a woman at a job. We met at orientation. On my ride home, I had a whole intense vibration over my body, and I'm like, why is this?
Wow.
Why is this? Come to find out, terrible person. Terrible person after I said, and that's why. That's why right there. So, but I didn't, like people used to say stuff about it. I'm like, she ain't did nothing to me. So I'm gonna keep on rolling, hanging, you know.
Listen.
But after you sit back and watch people, and sometimes people don't have to do none of you. If they done did something to a million people, trust me, you're gonna be million and number one. And so you gotta follow your mind, follow your heart. So now I try to listen. I try to listen. Because God ain't got to shout to you. Don't go right, go left. All he got to do is whisper, and you better listen. And so we don't listen, and we're going to end up in a situation. We're going to end right on the wrong side of the road. But yeah, so I'm very intuitive. So now I try to listen. I ain't saying I always make right decisions, you know, but I try to sit back, and I'm a sit back and observe person too. So I try not to make real fast decisions that can be life threatening. I sit back. Sometimes I tell people, come back to me tomorrow about it. Let me pray about it. Let me think about it. And then let's talk about it tomorrow.
One of the people who influenced in my life, they told me one time, they say, nothing in a hurry but trouble.
That sounds like a grandma. Yes.
And I was like, when they said it, I was asking them about something that I was being pressed for. Like, they were like, yeah. And now, at this big age, I will say, I don't care if it's somebody trying to flirt with me or somebody like get the money or whatever. I'll just be like, you know, I'll be like, man, I feel like you're pressing me. You know, like, I feel like we've said everything that needs to be said at this point. And I asked you to give me some time, but you still pressing me, you know? And so that's that no is a complete sentence stuff too. I like that.
I make my best decisions, unfortunately, because I know some people can make great decisions like that. And me sometimes, but I make my best decisions when I sit back and analyze. And then I come back like boom, boom, boom. And that sit back and analyze, that could be an hour, that could be overnight, that could be a week.
Oh.
But I just can't give it to you right now. And when I sit back and analyze, I come back with the best decisions.
Listen, now can we go a little bit deeper there? Can we talk about how the best decision for you may not be the best decision for me?
Listen, let me tell you. And it just ain't. Some people, I had a coworker the other day. What did she say? She said something about failure. And I said to her, I said, I don't fail. I said, that ain't to be cocky. It's just, I don't fail. She was like, what do you mean you don't fail? You've had things that didn't work out. I said, but I made it work out. And just because it didn't show out how it was supposed to be, it's going to end up with what it needs to be for me. So I don't fail. And she was like, I have to think about that. I'm going to say, you can think about it. That's my answer. I don't fail. If I don't get the job, it ain't me.
Right.
If I don't get that raise, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? If my paper didn't get an A and they got a B- or A-, that's just what it is. It ain't a failure. It's a lesson. It's just what it is. And I've had some hard no's that I was upset about, but it ain't a failure.
Because you looked at it, you flipped it around, learned it, looked at it every type of way and used it. You used it. Yes. Listen, what they say in the hot dog plants, we ain't letting nothing go to waste. I don't know what we eating in there, but they like everything. And in life, that's me though. I believe that. I'm like, don't get hit on GP. If life hits you, if a person hits you, whatever, if the bills hit you, if health hit, whatever hits, don't get hit just for general purposes and be like, oh, I got hit. You need to look at that thing, pull something out of it. What's the lesson here? What?
Because everything got a lesson. Everything has a lesson.
And how does the lesson apply? Like, how you gonna apply the lesson? Don't just tell me. You know, I'm somebody, when I used to take tests, I didn't have to study a lot in school. And people be like, oh, you're so gifted and sound good. That's that overnight success. Oh, you're so gifted. You have no problems, whatever. But then when I got out here in this real world called life, you can't memorize life. So you have to know how to learn. You know what I'm saying? Back to the lady who thought that I was, angry with her. That was what got me. I went home. Before I even went in my apartment at that time, that's why I was in Oklahoma. I was crying in the car. I was like, Lord, I'm tired of being misunderstood. I ain't done nothing to that lady.
Yeah.
When she think I'm finna fight her, I was like, then were we even
those some harsh words to think somebody gonna fight you. Now you can be upset with me all day, and we can argue all day, but I think you're gonna put your hands on me. I'm gonna put my hands on you. Those some hard words.
And we were working with a group of like young people. So I'm just gonna start wailing on you. Like,
yeah.
I was just like, but that's that thing though. The no from a melanin. The no from a melanin that because you are a pastor and I am just a youth worker, but I'm still a full-grown adult.
Yeah, and you still guiding somebody in the pack. You guiding somebody.
Yeah, and I think all of that was the water in her face without her maybe knowing. Like,
so what was the resolution? Were y'all able to get past that?
I think she left thinking that. I went on to the restroom. We were able to get past it. There's the difference. We were able to get past. I don't know if we were able to get over. Because like you said, in her mind, she may still think that I was going to fight her. I had to get comfortable with the fact that, because it bothered me and I wanted to tell her, and I felt myself tiptoeing the next couple of Sundays, like almost gonna overdo. And those are called provisional adjustments. Now I'm making not just micro adjustments. Now I'm doing provisional adjustments because I don't want her to think this and that. I was tired. I was exhausted by week 3.
Draining.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I was like, But because I went straight to prayer that night, I was like, Lord, I don't want to be misunderstood. And it was like, that's when I really began to look at like the personality assessments and how some process quickly, some process at a slower pace. That has nothing to do with their intellect though, And for me, the resolution was, I still say it today. I'm gonna let her hold that. That's hers. Like that wasn't mine. And here I was about to take it. And that would have been a whole nother weight on me. I'm carrying through life and I don't even know how this big boulder got in my backpack. Coming in like this to me.
Back hurt and carrying somebody else's stuff.
Yes. Honey, I got to say it now. I'll be like, I'm going to let them hold that. If it's something I can do, hey, use it. Empower people with it. If it's something I can do, again, in the book, I have to validate the criticism. If you're mad because I'm Black, and I'm just using it, that's if you're mad about something that I'm unable to change, that I'm a woman, that I'm younger than you, then what, you know what I'm saying? And there are things I can't change. And if those are the things that are irritating you, you got to hold that. Now, if you're mad that I keep interrupting you or calling your house after 10 o'clock, okay, then I need to adjust. Those are things I can fix. But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna have to validate some of this criticism and ask somebody, and that's why I thank you for being on here. We're talking about these things. Ask somebody who grows and sees like achievement or just the progress. At some point, didn't you have to come up with that? It may not have had that same language, but wasn't it?
You know what? Sometimes, like when I have conversations with some people and they be like, well, I didn't like this or this. And I'm like, well, that's your perception. And I'm sorry you took it that way, but I'm not going to change what I said or how I feel about it. And this is after I done thought about what I said. So after that, I'm not going to change it because that's the best that I can give you. And if that ain't good enough for you, I'm sorry for you. because some people do look at things a different way. You could have been raised a different way, so what I'm saying, you interpret it totally different.
Listen.
And I don't mean nothing but love with it. It's direct and it might be a little strong, but I mean it with love. And I don't mean it for it to hurt you. But if you grew up in a house that, you know, all you got was negative, then maybe my niceness to you is still negative. And so they're going to have to hold that.
All around a bunch of untrustworthy people.
Yeah.
You know, I came up, I was suspicious coming up. What they really want if they outside my circle. Watch for the hook. You know what I'm saying? Watch for the hook. You staring at the person, watch for the hook. You're right. And so again, studying human behavior, me being aware that awareness drives behavior, like those are some things that help me. And so I think getting the understanding of that, like you're saying, is how other people, because again, those micro adjustments that we've been making from the womb, it can look like everything is super easy. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff just came so easy to you. Do you find that people think that when they meet you, like the stuff come easy to you?
They do, and I'm like, so I remember a long time ago, I had a job interview, and I was telling one of my friends, I'm like, I interviewed, not even really interview. I talked to a person about a job. She was like, oh, they're going to hire you automatically. I was like, no, that don't mean that. I mean, I believe there's people out there that's more qualified. It ain't just thrown in my lap and easy. And, you know, some people think that just off experience. We don't even talk about degrees. Some people think that because of experience. I'm like, it's not easy. Some people just assume that some things are just easy and just thrown in your lap. And sometimes some things take hard work. And so when she said that, I had to analyze, maybe some people do think that. And I hate to hear that sometimes. I don't want to use the word hate, but I don't like to hear that sometimes because maybe some people might discredit the hard work you did and just think things are just thrown in your lap. And sometimes things are, you know, some things are back to networking.
Because it also discredits you a little bit in their head. They like, oh, she ain't, what are you talking about? You know what? Jesus, be mindful of those conversations. You know, I firmly believe people don't always know what they do or what they say or when they're projecting. So you have to be mindful of that. But I listen to people now.
It shook me a little bit. I was like, why would you think that? I wish it was just thrown in my lap. But no, some things literally, because of the hard work you did, somebody just gave it to you automatically. And I wish they did, because I would already be a CEO of a hospital. If it was that easy.
Yes. If they gave everything to you easy, your skill set may not be the same as it is now. Your stuff is getting polished and honed with every day and every passing day. All right, let's go. We already 42.
Yes.
I want to honor your time. This has been so good. If you could go back and give, this is up to you. One or both, however you want. So I appreciate this talk. I appreciate you keeping it organic. I do want it to be organic, and we're sharing our conversations. If you could go back and give like your starting out self a piece of wisdom, some advice, some instruction, what would it be? Or if it was something you could say to women today, just period, because you know you have a heart for women's empowerment. A lot of the things you do are to empower women, and so I don't want to discount that because we're talking to you. I want people to know, no, this is what she does. They can connect with you, reach out to you. If you had anything you could say to women today,
I would tell them to start early. Don't wait late, and it's never too late. So in the same breath, I'm gonna tell you, it's never too late. But start early. Start early with training the next person up, because I believe it starts for women when you're young. Start early with networking. Start early with getting on boards, because now I'm 40 in my 40s, just was starting to get on boards and stuff. All these women that I met that's empowering me to help me empower next women. Start early. Don't give up so early too, because just because you start early, you may give up because things get hard. It's gonna always be hard. Until you get to the end, it's going to be hard till the end. And just don't give up. That would be the only thing I would say. Just start early and get that support system in, and be willing to be open to say what help you need. And that's what I would tell myself, because I started late. I started late with reaching out and grabbing a hand. I need your hand, Sharon. Instead of in my 20s, I need your hand. I'm in my 40s, like, I need your hand. Help me with this. I got some things right, but I got some things wrong that I didn't have to get wrong. So
Yes.
that's what and along the way, pray. Let God lead you. I always pray, lead me, guide me. Let me follow your steps. I know you ain't gonna yell at me on what I need to do. You're gonna whisper. Sometimes I need to be quiet and listen and hear it to avoid some of these mistakes so I don't repeat them.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen, and it's a hard thing when you like, no, when you blindsided. But God in his grace, he'll show you.
Yes, he will.
I've been telling you the whole time. And you know what? All you gotta do is sit with that and be like, okay, you have grace. Will you heal? Please heal these parts. You know what I'm saying? You right. And then you can see it so clearly. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you so much, Dr. Raynetta. I appreciate your time with me. I know that this is going to like benefit some people, and so that's what's up. That's why we do what we do. Guys, you can find her. I know she's on LinkedIn, so get on LinkedIn. If you're not, I don't want to hear. I don't do social media.
Just get on, find your people, find your tribe, find your family.
Yes,
you're gonna have to. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know nobody that does that. Well, get on LinkedIn. I guarantee you will. It's a different platform. It's different than Facebook. I love Facebook. I love TikTok. That's not true. I don't love Facebook. It's a different platform, but it is a platform that positions you even for future things. And
to help you. I mean, for future things, those are people that got the hand for you. You got a question, you can just simply put, I need recommendations, or I need to know how to do this. And there's going to be people out there willing to give you their hand.
It is.
First step. So,
All right.
Thank you for having me on here. I thank you. Because this helps me outside of, the boards that I'm on and the people that I talk to, women, men. Because I do have some men that I mentor as well. So this is just a different group. So,
That's amazing. That's amazing. So if somebody is looking for like the mentoring or whatever, it might. Okay. I got it.
Yeah, just reach out. I'm on Facebook too, same name.
All right.
So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love that. I will be sure to send some folks your way. Definitely, if you don't mind, even some in the industry, but I know you're not limited to that because we didn't even get into your entrepreneur endeavors and all that. But maybe on another show we can get Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, but thank you.
Be safe. Have a wonderful day, guys. This has been Dr. Raynetta Stansil. Please connect with her. Stansil. She's in. And listen to this. Put this in your ear. I hope that we're on your commute to work or on your commute back home, so you don't take anything in the house that you don't need to. And, we will talk with you all soon. See you soon.
All right. Thank you.
In a world overflowing with noise, are you truly being heard? Or better yet, are you truly listening? Kenneth Campbell, industry author and expert in sterilization, is back with his latest book, Learn to Listen, so others are willing to talk. This book isn't just about hearing words. It's about understanding, connecting, and building trust. Whether you're leading a team, navigating relationships, or simply striving for better conversations, these practical strategies will transform the way you communicate. Imagine a world where every conversation leads to deeper connections, resolved conflicts, and greater influence. It's possible when you learn to listen. Are you ready to elevate your communication and create meaningful relationships? Learn to listen, so others are willing to talk. Available now.